Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by Bernard Deneen from the Citizen Channel. And I could ask you, Bernard, how you doing? You recovered from your trip to Newcastle?
Yeah, recovered. Bit disappointed. We always are, aren't we? We don't like losing. I mean, even though we got used to it many years ago, I think will we ever get used to it again? That's what I worry about. When it all turns to mush, when Pep's gone, when Cheeky's gone, when Ferrier, when the owners have sold the club to someone else. I mean, when it's depressing, will we still be here laughing and smiling and enjoying and singing that song? Of course, we never win it all. We never win it. I'm never convinced when I sing it. I'll be honest with you, unless we're winning. If we're winning, I sing it. I'm fine. But like last night, as soon as Newcastle went a goal up, I sing it, but begrudgingly.
Yeah. Look, whatever happens, we'll still be here supporting City. There's no doubt about that. But guys, we're here to preview the game against Wolves this weekend. Are you going to start off by asking, are you going to the game? You got a ticket?
Yes. I've been let down for Arsenal. I should have had a ticket, but so you give it someone else the bugger. So that's his bottle of gin gone next year when I see him for helping me get a ticket. So yeah, I'm going to Wolves, but then I'm not too sure when my next away one is. So I'll be going to that and missing 2 or 3 of the next ones, I think.
Yeah, because we've got 4 away games in a row. Obviously, we lost to Newcastle, which most of our first team players, I don't think, played, or certainly didn't start. Haaland didn't start. Edison, Kyle Walker didn't start. Ruben Diaz. Akanji started. I'm trying to remember who else didn't start. But those are the main players. Foden didn't start. Jeremy Doku didn't start. So there's a big chunk of players who didn't start against Newcastle.
You look at the subs bench against Newcastle: Edison, Carson, Walker, Diaz, Haaland, Doku, Nunes, Foden, and young Mr. Hamilton. There was a new name, wasn't it?
Mika Hamilton. Young Mika Hamilton. So, we had a very, very strong bench. And I guess most of those players, apart from Carson and Mika Hamilton, will be featuring at starting the game against Wolves. Wolves haven't had a good start to the season. They've had they had obviously issues at the end, let's get this right. Before the season started, with Lopetegui leaving and getting Gary O'Neill in. How do you think Wolves have started this season then, mate?
Yeah, I mean, they're struggling. I mean, they just lost in the like us, they're out of the Carabao now. They got beat by Ipswich, didn't they? After being 2-0 up after 15 minutes, they lost 3-2. So not great. They got a draw at Luton, which on the face of it doesn't sound great, but they were down to 10 men for 2/3 of that game, and Luton battered them. It was a rearguard action. Luton were all over them, but they're struggling. They are struggling at the moment. Of course, they've got FFP problems, haven't they, from last season? So that's limited what they can do. Obviously, they've had to sell Nunes to us, and that is it. Neves, what it's called, has gone over to Saudi Arabia. So they're going to be looking over the shoulders, I think, this season again, which they did for a lot of last season, didn't they? But Gary O'Neill, whether he's the answer to the problem that they created, I'm not too sure. I think they'll find 3 or 4 clubs worse than them. The bookies think they will, because there's the sort of 1 to 4 on to stay up sort of thing. So it'll be okay, I think, but it won't be a great season, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, you've got a league with Sheffield United and Luton in, so I think that those 2 teams will be worse off than Wolves. Wolves have played 6 games this season. They've only managed 1 win, 1 draw, 4 defeats.
Everton, wasn't it? Everton away, which let's face it, anyone could have beat Everton at that stage.
Yeah.
Before they got this, of course, they've improved slightly the last couple of games.
Yeah, but their biggest problem is scoring goals. They've scored 6 goals in 6 league games. Yeah. They've not let in too many. I mean, basically, their average scoreline this season is losing 2-1, because they've let in 2 goals per game on average and scored 1 goal per game on average. They, like you said, they struggle with FFP. They do need a goal scorer. I don't know who's going to step up for them to do that. But, I think Gary O'Neill is a decent manager. He showed that, I think, at Bournemouth. He showed character to come in.
Well, certainly known, isn't he? They've tended to go for guys I've never heard of, I think, the last couple of times. But he's certainly known, and he's steady. He's a steady Eddie, so might be what they sort of need at this point in time.
I think he'll get them through. I think he'll get them through this season, which is realistically all they need should be aiming for again, because they've had no money to spend. Tough start to the season, but I think their aim surely should just be, staying in the league for next year. But that's enough about Wolves. I'm not going to bother too much about them. I want to focus on us. I want to focus on City. Obviously, we've got a reasonable idea as to who we expect to start. So we'll have a quick chat about that, who we expect to start. Obviously, everything for me is a must-win game. It's at the start of the season. We need to be in the thick of it, and we will be in the thick of it, but we need to be in the thick of it as we go through the season. Liverpool are playing against Spurs, so hopefully that'll be a draw. It helps us to pull away a little bit. That's good for us if we can beat Wolves. So I think some positions are straightforward, and I'm sure you've already done you pick your 11. So I'm going to ask you for an 11 to start against Wolves.
Yeah, because I ended up with I think there was 7 on the bench against Newcastle that I had, and then I come up with 5 names to fill the other 4 spots. And interestingly enough, the guy to miss out for me was Nathan Ake, after having not a bad as captain as well, of course, against Newcastle. He did a pretty good job, but this is what I've ended up with. See what you think about this. Based on the fact that Stones and Bernardo are still not going to be available, I don't believe. Obviously, Pep's not done his press conference as yet about those, but I doubt they'll be available. But I'm working on the basis that Kovacic come through. I thought Foden was limping a little bit against Newcastle. I think he'll be all right, but I thought he got a bit of stick, of course, a little bit physical. But this is the 11 I came up with based on what we know anyway, with KDB and Rodgers, the obvious absentees as well. Edders, Walker. I think Lewis will have a rest. I don't think he'll play in this one. I think Walker will be back. Diaz, Akanji, Gvardiol, Kovacic, Nunes, so he can mess around there for your Rodri replacement with those 4 guys mixing it up in the middle. Foden, Alvarez, Haaland, and of course, I prefer Doku to Grealish after that Newcastle game. So I think you've got 4 midfielders there who I think hopefully can fill the one gap of Rodri and hold that position there and mill about and Pep. I think they're quite capable. I think that the game will miss Rodri more is going to be the next one after this. So I think for Wolves, in theory, we do all right there, don't we? We've had the odd Rick, of course, at Wolves, so they haven't got a Traore anymore, so we're all right. We haven't got him steaming at us. I think that'll be good enough. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm trying to work out whether Pep would use this game as a blueprint for the Arsenal game, even though they're 2 totally different teams. Would he look at the Rodri replacement and say, right, what I do in this game is what I'll do in the next game? Because part of me thinks we're playing Wolves. I would have 3 at the back and 2 ahead of them. You're talking about playing 4 at the back. Against Arsenal.
No, I've got 4 at the back, but they're not playing at the back. They're not, you know what I mean?
But then you've got.
Let me look at my gallery because I put them in some sort of order on my picture, on my lineup. If you've got the lineup, I've got it laid out. Yeah, I had Ederson, Walker, Diaz, and Akanji. Then in front of those, I had Gvardiol. Then in front of them, I had a threesome of Nunes, Foden, and Kovacic. And then the 3 forwards, which obviously are Haaland, Doku, and Alvarez. So it's like a 3-1-3-3. But obviously the facts of Kovacic and Nunes and literally Gvardiol were playing. It was like a middle 3 sort of thing. They could play out anyone.
See, I thought against Arsenal would play 4 at the back. I thought that. Maybe with a floater.
I think it'll change. Yeah, I mean, it'll be totally different. I think it'll be a totally different layout for the Arsenal game. I think he plays different against Arsenal than perhaps any other club anyway. Probably Liverpool might be a similar thing, but I think the way Arsenal play, I think Pep has got the hang of it. I think after that first half, I think where they sort of pummeled us, not last season, was it, where they tore into us at the Emirates and we looked all over the place. He changed his tack a little bit, a bit more direct. He changed tactics against Arsenal and it started to work better.
I think against Arsenal, I'd want 4 at the back. Against Wolves, I want 3 at the back because I want more in midfield. I want more creativity. I think against Arsenal, I want a bit more defensive solidity, as well as knowing that Arsenal will push on us, and unlike Wolves, and we would get more opportunity on the break. So we don't need that extra man in midfield. But yeah, I think Wolves are going to be, again, a pretty dour, difficult opposition. I think they're going to go around wasting as much time as possible. And I think they're going to have they might look at what other people have done against us and be niggly.
Yeah, well, look at the Newcastle game, the first half. I mean, that was, and even into the second half, obviously, when they went to goal up, they could afford to waste time and foul. But even in the first half, they were very compact, a lot of men behind the ball, nothing exciting, just doing and being physical. That's what they did, and I say, obviously, these guys watch the games, don't they? They look at their opposition. So Mr. O'Neill would have been watching that game and taking his little points from it. Even though obviously it's a much changed City team, of course.
Yeah. I'm having a quick look at the results. They lost 1-0 to Man United. They were unlucky there. They were cheated out of that. Got battered at home by Brighton. They were never in that game. They got that win at Everton. And this is just the league. They lost 3-2 to Palace away from home. Lost 3-1 at home to Liverpool, where I think they could and should have done better. They should have been 2-0 up there, and they threw that away. And they got that draw against Luton that you say, and then obviously that defeat against Ipswich would really, really hurt. But I think they're going to, as I said, be very, very negative, because there's no.
They're not going to go for it. They're not going to throw caution to the wind. He's not that sort of manager anyway, is he? He's not going to throw caution to the wind. It's going to be hopefully we can get a goal or two early, because the longer it'll go on as ever. Yeah. And if we sort of have the pace we did against Newcastle, which I doubt, as I said, because we've got far better players on the pitch this time, I want us to be authoritative and really go for it from the outset.
Yeah, no, we got a bit of a dodgy connection. That's probably my fault. Let's just try and make that bit. I made you smaller, Bernard.
Yes, that's much better. I can't see me now. I'm at Newcastle again now, looking at the pitch.
I'm not sure it's your end, but I'm away from home. I'm using my phone to provide my internet's better than the place I'm staying. So yeah, as I said, it's gonna be a tough old game. Who do you think is going to step up from City to make the difference?
Well, I was a bit disappointed with Alvarez actually against Newcastle, but again, it's the quality of the team, wasn't it? It's quality of the 11. He was dragged down a little bit. I think with Doku starting, I think we'll see a totally different thing. And Haaland, of course, he'll be champing at the bit, chomping at the bit, having missed a game. So yeah, I think I think that's a good team with the Nunez's and the Kovacic is back and folding. We should be on fire. We should be flying. Against Wolves with that lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to move on to get your score prediction, Bernard. Can you see a good City?
I give them a goal. I always give Wolves a goal, because these teams are always capable of taking a lead or nicking one at some stage from us with a break. Because I'll be honest with you, against Newcastle, when they broke, we did look a bit dodgy, and even the best team has looked a bit dodgy, hasn't it? When we've been attacked, if you like. So I'll give them a goal, but I'm going to say a nice, comfortable 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, I've gone with 3-1s regularly, but. I think it's about time we had a clean sheet.
The most popular scoreline what people are going for is 2-0 and 3-0.
I'm going to go with 2-0. I'm going to go with 2-0 because, again, I don't think we're going to be busting a gut. We've got Leipzig in midweek. Once I think the focus is get ahead, comfortably ahead, and then take it easy. Take your foot off the pedal. And I just think that's what City will do. I don't think we're looking to go and smash teams the way we used to years ago. And, unless a team really capitulates, we'll be quite happy just to pass that ball around and win 2-0 like we did in the game at home the other week. where Rodri got his silly self sent off. We were 2-0 up. We weren't that bothered after that, really. Weren't busting a gut. So I'm going to go with 2-0. And as long as we win, keep that winning streak going, it'd be fantastic. The longer we can keep our 100% record, the better it's going to be. And if we can, hey, tell you what, Bernard, if we get 10 wins on the bounce, 10 league games wins on the bounce, I'll be jumping up and down. I tell you.
Yeah, because it might be one or two of our the big guys as well.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, mate. And enjoy your trip down to Molineux. Come back with the 3 points, please. And hopefully I'll chat with you the day after. I might chat with you tomorrow after press conference. Having said that, I've got a 2.5 hour drive to where I'm going and probably a 3 hour drive back. So I might be a bit tired, but we'll see how it goes. But guys, look after yourselves. If you're going down to Wolves, and don't walk down any little alleyways. Go stay with the boys.
There's not as many knives as there used to be in the 70s, mate. It's not as bad now.
Yeah, no. Last couple of times I've been to
You used
Wolves,
to have a reputation of just as the Wolves fans with the old Stanley knives and various things, but not too bad the last couple of times I've been.
Yeah, last time I went, I was still looking over my shoulder. I'll be honest, I was on my own. So when you're on your own, and I was packed with a lot of Wolves fans, so you just got to be a bit careful when you're on your Todd, wearing your colours and your scarf and whatever. Anyway, it'll be a good game. We're going to come back with 3 points, and we'll keep our 100% record going. Guys, if you're new to the channel, would be fantastic if you could subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Give us a thumbs up. Always nice to get them. And we will see you around, Blues.